All right, welcome back, everyone. Hopefully, you've been watching my channel. If not, please subscribe. If you like my content, feel free to follow me on my Instagram at boho nutrition_nutrition. I post content about bodybuilding, all that stuff. So, my goal this week is to actually talk to you instead of looking everywhere. 1% better on these videos every week. So, before I get called a calorie zealot for talking about my fitness pal, calories in, calories out, I do want to talk about what if Grandma and Grandpa Joe come in? What do you do with them when they're like, my fitness pal who? And they don't have a smartphone, they've never tracked a day in their life. Are there meaningful interventions that you can do for these people? Of course, yes. We would work more from a behavioral standpoint, like looking at maybe balanced meals, regular meal times, cutting out sugary drinks, maybe going for a morning walk with their coffee, or bringing some more mindfulness to the meal as far as, are you feeling full? Stop when you feel full. Let's look at portion sizes, maybe eating off smaller plates, elongating the meal so you actually get the signal that you're full. So yes, there are a ton of behavioral interventions. That being said, if Grandma and Grandpa Joe don't have my fitness pal or smartphone, they're also not likely watching my channel. So that is why I am making content more for my age, young adult viewers to middle-aged viewers who would actually be looking at YouTube. And typically this population in America happens to be overweight or obese and wanting to do something about that. Hopefully they want to do something about it. And that comes from a place of love, like wanting to actually do good things to make you healthier because you love your body and you want it to last longer. Not a place of let's grind this body down because you hate it so much. That is not the message I'm trying to spread. But let's say Linda comes to us and she says, you know what? I want to try the keto diet again because it worked so great for me last time. Anybody have any thoughts on that statement? So, will I just say outright, no, you know keto is bullshit? No, because that's not necessarily true. You can have whatever amount of carbohydrates, fats, whatever you want your calories to come from. I would recommend that you keep protein in a good range, a higher adequate amount range for satiety. And if you're going to be dieting down, if that is your intention to be in a deficit, we want to retain as much lean body mass as possible. So that higher amount of protein will help with that. How you allocate your carbohydrates and fats, that's preference. So the reason I would have an objection to Linda is that she just said it worked so well for her in the past. Now, I wouldn't say anything outright. I would ask, well, what did you like about the keto diet? What did you dislike? Okay. The whole concept is, guys, she went off the keto diet. It was not something that she could sustain long term. That is my problem with it. Whatever intervention you're using to diet down should be very similar to how you live your life normally. That's going to help you bridge that gap. People can diet down. All diets work. They create a calorie deficit and therefore they work. Yes. What happens after? What happens after your 90-day challenge? That should be the question you should be asking yourself. A dietitian, a coach should always be asking you, what comes after your fitness challenge? What comes after you're done with your urine Atkins? What happens after your extreme calorie deficit diet that you put yourself on? When does it end? And what happens next? So typically, if do is an extreme diet, people tend to binge, go hog wild afterwards. We see this with competitors. We see this with just regular people who went on extreme diets. That's why it's hard to maintain. It's easy to lose weight multiple times in our lives, but that maintenance period, that's the hardest part. So, for a majority of the population, I don't recommend a very, very low carbohydrate diet because for a lot of people, this is hard to stick to. But I'm not going to just poo-poo it right off. Some people, it's the solution for the rest of their lives. That's fabulous. What I would promote is balance during a dieting down phase, fat loss phase, or maintenance, what have you, recomp, whatever your goal is. I always try to recommend balance because I find that this is easier for people to stick to, and it gets you into those behaviors that will take it long term. So the same thing goes for competitors. Yes, we're in bodybuilding. We know what we're in for. We know it's going to be difficult. Yes, we do it to ourselves. We grind ourselves. That being said, you can be as healthy as possible about this. That's also why, in a dieting down phase, I encourage being as balanced as possible. So that way we don't have the all or nothing aspect afterwards. That huge binge. What was it? All in Stephanie Buttermore. We don't want that. And I'm not attacking her. But I did it myself after my first show. And my coaches were very good with me. Encouraging flexible dieting and a very gentle deficit, and I still binged. So I would say we want to be as gentle as possible, even in this extreme sport of bodybuilding, where you are going to have to get to unhealthy low body weight if you want to score well at a bigger show, like a national show, extreme, like higher level. At your regional, if it's small enough, you may score well and still have adequate body fat. But we know what we're getting into, and we do it to ourselves, and that's a choice. That being said, for people who are looking at these girls on stage, if that is your dream body, and you want to be a competitor, go for it. But for a majority of humans, no, that should not be your pinnacle. Maybe go halfway, like Greg Doucette says. Going to a healthy weight for you. When you get to that lean, I would argue it is just as unhealthy as being obese. These are two ends of the spectrum, and we don't want extremes. We want that nice, healthy in the middle. For women, that can be anywhere from 28% body fat to 24% body fat. Your hormones are still good, you're still feeling well, libido's good, life's good. So it's going to be different for different people, but the idea is, yes, those dream physiques that you see, for a majority of people, are not sustainable. Are not sustainable, period. But for a majority of people, are not the thing that we want to be pushing. Also, as a competitor, I would hope that you are learning from your coaches and you're asking questions. So if your coach puts you on an extreme carb cycling diet where you have really, really high days, really, really low days, on the low days you feel horrible, like we're talking like 0 grams of carbs. I've seen these types of diets that coaches prescribe. You should probably be asking questions. Any diet where you feel like literal shit on some of the days, like, yes, in a dieting phase, you're going to feel pretty cruddy. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts, but we can make it as comfortable as possible. Anytime you're dieting down, it's going to be a struggle. You are going to be hungry, but we can make it as sustainable, as comfortable, as mental health friendly as possible. And I say these severe carb cycling diets are not it. Same with like cheat days. Telling somebody, oh, you have a free-for-all day, I think that promotes binge tendencies. Now, to saying that you have a systematic increase in your carbohydrates for a refeed day, and this is what you have, you've been flexibly dieting all along, that can be a mental reprieve and actually help people keep the weight off long term. At least that's what some of the research is showing us, that by using diet breaks and refeeds, it can kind of help the mental aspect of dieting down, and not make you feel like you want to go hog wild when you're actually not dieting anymore. So these are all concepts that I just wanted to hit on before people were like, oh, she's a calorie zealot, calories in, calories out. Yes, this law applies. You have to be in a calorie deficit to lose weight. All these diets work because you are in a calorie deficit. But there are nuances. There are ways to go about it. And some are better than others. And in my opinion, a more balanced approach is going to be best for mental stability and for that long term after, because you're making some behaviors while you're in this dieting phase, this fat loss phase, that it will carry over into normal life or when you're maintaining your weight. And we're talking regular meals, trying to listen to when you feel full, balanced meals, using, those low-calorie, nutrient-dense foods to bulk the meals. So those are all concepts I just wanted to hit on today. And then just look forward to more videos every Sunday. I'm going to end it here. But just a quick shameless plug. Look at these eyelashes. If you guys are in the Rochester area, feel free to check out Lash with Brittany on Instagram. She's my lash artist. So if you like these, check her out. All right. Have a great week, you guys. Like I said, follow me at my Instagram, boho_nutrition, and like and subscribe to my channel if you like this content. Thanks.